Hey guys.
Hey.
We are just jumping on because it's been a while since we've done a video and a lot has happened since our last video. Our last video I think was our beta test from our transfer of one embryo, and we haven't done one since then, like our results of the beta test. And what a beta test is, the pregnancy test where they test your blood and see if you have HCG levels, basically to see if the baby is growing, embryo is growing, or if it didn't work out. So we actually had another transfer. Remember the date, hun? We're in August. It wasn't in August, it was in July, wasn't it? It was like the end of July, I think we had one. We had another transfer and we transferred 2 embryos. And then we got our results like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And just a lot has transpired since then because we've just been so busy with work and life and haven't made a video and just kind of, going through it. But our results from the 2 embryo transfer were also negative. So we've now had 3 frozen embryo transfers. Well, 2 frozen embryo transfers, but 3 embryos transferred, and all of them have come out negative. Do you have anything to say?
That's what happened.
So now it's just kind of a factor. A couple weeks ago, we had our doctor call us, and he talked to us basically saying, there's 3 things, or it could be bad embryos, or it could be bad luck, or it's the uterus. And so right now they are trying to rule out that they're pretty much, the other 2 are ruled out. It's not the embryos because we had our embryos tested. They were PGS tested, and so they all came back with no abnormalities. And it's not bad luck because our chances with doing 2 were supposed to give us like a 75% chance of it coming out successful. And so he's like, now it's the uterus. And he had noticed that he had in his notes that at the time when he was placing the embryos in, that I was like cramping, I guess, or there was air bubbles, which he said sometimes it's like can be caused by cramping. And so they've got to figure out, or they're looking to figure out what's going on in my uterus at this time. So today we jumped back into things because we've been gone and we've been out of town, which was kind of a nice little reprieve. And they found out that I have
pull-ups again.
So they came back. And they're not like really big from what we could see, but they're just kind of in a location that can hinder, implantation. And the nurse practitioner said, like, I don't think that's the only reason why the transfer's not working. And so they really don't. I mean, we don't know yet. They're looking for answers, which I'm okay with. Like, I'm good. I'm happy that we're proactively finding the answers. And I have another surgery scheduled for this weekend for hysteroscopy, so they can take out the polyps and then also do a biopsy to see if there's anything going on that shouldn't be going on in my uterus this weekend. So, I think at this point, after the 2, Chris and I really were just like, we're done. Like, not done, but we wanted a break. Like, I think I didn't test this time. I didn't test at all. And I thought, just because of the progesterone and all that stuff, like I had told Chris, like, I think I am. I think at least 1. Like, we did 2, so like, and didn't tell anybody about us. We didn't tell anybody about doing 2 just because we were like, well, if 1 works out, great. That's what it was meant to be and everything like that. So I really wasn't anticipating a no, like a negative. And so I think I was a little in shock. And then I kind of just jumped into work the next week or like the next couple days and literally just got lost in work. I don't know how you felt. How did you feel?
I don't know. However you're supposed to feel. I don't know.
Like we just were numb.
Yeah.
Right? Like we just were numb. We were ready for a break. Like we really weren't planning on doing another one too soon, just because we were like, I was ready for my body to take a break. I I was ready to just like not be on hormones and to feel semi-normal just for a little bit. And I was like, I'm gonna do Whole30, I'm gonna get super fit, like try to do all the things that I can so I feel like I'm not preventing it myself. And it just, when we talked to Dr. Folk, it was kind of like, well, let's do this and go here and then try another one. And I was like, Chris kind of felt like
the doctor has spoken.
Yeah. But you said if he had an aha moment, which you felt like he did.
It was just, he had something to, I guess, focus on now.
Yeah.
It wasn't just let's throw it in and roll the dice.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, IVF, yeah, it's expensive, and, I mean, you're having doctors actually put the egg in, but it's not a guarantee. You know, there's still nature and still a higher power. So, but it was more reassuring that he actually had an angle.
Yeah, like a
to
focus.
Attack it on.
Yeah, like.
So I told her, let's maybe try to give it another shot now that he knows what to focus on.
Yeah, and like he said, we need to do at least another one before we can even think about or like look to other options, like whether a gestational carrier. Because I was like, after the last one, I was like, I don't mind trying, and I told Chris, like, I don't mind keep trying, but I'd like to at least just have a baby, like just, and so if it means we get a gestational carrier for the first one, and then I just keep trying and trying and trying, because I'm not super old, like I'm 31 in consideration for the IVF world, like I'm still considered under that threshold, like of wherever I should be able to carry. My eggs are healthy, that we have embryos, we're able to create embryos, like we started off with 11 and now we have 8, but like all of them don't have abnormalities, so it's like we're able to create. It's just how can we get it to implant and to stay in its little home for the next like 9 to 10 months. And so I think my biggest fear now is not being able to carry, which I obviously want that. Like I obviously want to have that bonding in that moment. So that's just kind of like, but I'm at a point too, I just don't care. Like I'll just do whatever's necessary. If it means having to do a gestational carrier or whatever test I have to run, whatever, like, I'm just at that point right now where it's just like, I don't care. And so we actually had an experience this last weekend, which I think it kind of hit me because, like I told you, I just got really involved in work and in our business and started putting focus into things that I had put on hold for so long, the last 8 months, because we've been doing this since January. I know there's people out there that are doing it way longer, but and my cute niece came over because she just had a baby Thursday, like last
Thursday.
What is it, like almost a week, like a little bit less than a week. And so she came down to put some stuff in. I was visiting my mom in Denver. We were in my mom's house, and she handed me her new little baby, and which was adorable. And obviously I'm so happy for them. Like I'm super happy for my niece. And when I first held it, like I just kind of sat there thinking, like, is this ever going to be my own? Like, am I ever going to have this opportunity? Because I don't hold babies. I don't hold little babies. I used to love to, and now I don't, because it just brings a lot of emotions. And it just brings out a lot of things. And I was very happy to hold the baby. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like I told Chris, I said, that's the first newborn baby I've held since his sister was born. His little sister was born, and she was born 4 years ago, and so after my first miscarriage, I didn't hold newborn babies. And so I had like a hard time later that night, because I think it just finally hit me, because you just get so used to this process and so used to doctor's appointments and so used to like needles and used to just like all these things. Like you get used to just everything that's involved in the IVF process and the transfer process, and you kind of forget what the end goal is with it. And so I think like I just become so numb to this, or it's just like I keep pushing through it and we keep pushing through it, hoping for a miracle, and then like to just sit there and see a miracle and to hold it was just, it was a good moment, but it was really hard too. And so that night I had cried to my husband because I just hadn't really, I don't think I mourned the last 2 transfers. I think I just jumped right into things and just kind of was like, okay, this is my life, you know. And so I don't think I truly gave myself that opportunity to mourn them, and that's when it hit me, because it's just a crazy thought to think how long we've been doing this. And Chris, who was awesome through all of this and been great as usual, just kind of reminded me that timing is everything, and our time's coming, you know, because he kept saying like, our baby's coming, like our time's coming. And I think it's just, I need to hear that, and I need to remember that, and that's what keeps pushing me to go through this, and keeps pushing us to go through this and to hold the faith, because we do feel like even though we are trying our best to do this, you know, we're doing everything that we can, that Heavenly Father is still in charge, that God is still in charge, and that He's still in control of this. And all we can do is just sit here and think like, we're doing our best, we're putting forth our faith and our works as best we can, and whatever the outcome is, it is. I just remember right before I got the phone call of our last frozen embryo transfer, I said like a prayer, and I just sat there saying like, that I trusted you. I trusted your timing, I trusted your will, I trust in everything that you have, that you dictate basically, or what you want, because this is in regards to God. And I think that's something that I've definitely learned throughout this whole process, because I am a control freak, that He's in charge, and that I just have to trust in Him and hope that He knows the righteous desire of my heart is to be a mother and to carry my own children, and just keep pushing forward with the faith. And if it doesn't work out, like, on to the next. Like, okay, how do we figure out, what do we do next? Do we need to do this or that? Like, I just really have learned through this trial, I guess, that not to give up, and it's in His will, and I trust Him, and whatever He seems or deems fit is what we will accept and say, okay. Like, you know, it's crazy to think that we would be parents to 7 kids, like, or possibility of 7 kids. Like, it's just a crazy thought, that that's how much we've gone through, and we don't know what everybody else's beliefs are, but we still believe that even though, and this is our own beliefs, I don't know if this is even like doctrine from our church, I have no clue, but we believe that those are still babies and spirits that hopefully at some point or time we will have a chance to meet and be able to raise or get to know, or whatever's necessary. Like, I just think we still believe they're real. Like, they're not real with us, and we don't get to raise them here in this lifetime, but we'll have some chance, you know, maybe in the next life to be with them. Do you have anything so I can stop crying?
No.
us every
They have
video. They say, we're here. They're good. They're ready to be big sisters. So, okay, we hear you. We put them in the room so they wouldn't make noise out here. Do you have anything, Tyler?
No, not really.
Any feelings, emotions? Word of advice for maybe men that are going through this? I mean, I feel like I'm always the one that's like, I don't know how you feel. I don't know what you're going through. I mean, what Lily expressed with me.
It's just patience. Obviously the support system, but just a shoulder and an ear.
It tries to be tough all the time, and I'm like, you're going through this too. Like, you're experiencing this as well.
Yeah, to a certain extent, but
It still plays with your emotions.
yeah,
And it still plays with your, it's still something that affects you. Maybe not your body, but it's still spiritually and emotionally draining for you to go through it as well.
yeah, but that's what we signed up for.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is what it is.
This is Chris, you guys. He's just very,
I'm a wallflower.
like, you have like this guard up. Put your guard down.
I'm just folding my arms. That's what it is. It's a support system.
You're not just a support system.
No, that's for advice for guys.
Oh yeah, be supportive.
Be open. With your feelings and stuff like that.
Which he is. Maybe not with you guys, but he is with me. For the most part sometimes.
That's all that matters. Yeah. Just keep pushing. That's all we can do. That's it. That's all I got.
Man of many words.
Yep.
One of these videos, I want him to cry.
Nope.
He needs to cry, but no, we're good. I mean, he's good. We're good. We're gonna make it through it. We're fine. We're not like, we're just picking ourselves up and just, on to the next.
No. That's all you can do.
That's all. That's how we're looking at it right now. It's just like, okay, all right, like come what may. Right, baby?
Yep.
Yeah. So I am very, very thankful that I have a good man next to me to kind of be with me through this, because it's definitely been a roller coaster for both of us throughout this whole journey, I guess.
I can echo that.
Yeah.
You've been strong as well.
But that's it. We haven't gone on the video because we've kind of been like, guys, I'm not even kidding you. We've kind of just been like putting it in the back of my head, I think, up until today when we were like, oh yeah, we got to go in and go do stuff and see what's going on. And so we're just hoping things go good on Saturday with our surgery, or with my surgery, and then hoping that we find out whatever is going on with the biopsy, because I've been having some major pain with my
abdominals.
Yeah, like just some crazy things the last 2 weeks, and so it's kind of been like, even though I've been trying to forget about it, it's like, hey, knock, 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 I'm still here. And I'm like, oh, what the frick is this? So hopefully we get some answers with that, because I'm very thankful for answers, and I'm very thankful for our medical staff and for Dr. Folk and for everything that they've done, because it's just bringing us peace of mind, at least, of why, and that's really, really what I can say is I'm very thankful for them and for them being through us with this whole process of trying to figure it out. Because I mean, I think he's been shocked a couple times where he's like, Dr. Folk is like, like, he's like, what's going on? We're just throwing that curveball because he's such a great doctor. And so we're very appreciative of him for trying to figure it out. He's been great, and their staff is great, and we cannot say better things about their clinic. So don't you feel that way?
Yeah, I mean, I told her today,
yeah,
because we ran into the main nurse that she deals with, and I told her, like, I see why people referred to this one and why people come from out of state to this one.
Yeah.
It literally feels like you're visiting friends.
Yeah, he said it makes it, they
It makes
make
it a lot
easy.
easier.
Yeah, and they really do. Like, it's
I
not so
mean,
like technical and like.
And it's not, they don't just hit you up for meetings. I mean, Nate's talked to her nurse on many occasions
Yeah, she's
just about
probably
questions.
annoyed. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
she's really cool. We're really sure we're in the like hey girl phase, which I think is great. Like it
makes
it makes it so much easier. It makes the process not feel so like
monotonous and
yeah,
another doctor's visit.
yeah. So they've been great. We're really appreciative of them. So
Yeah.
well, thanks guys for watching. Until next time, hopefully we have good news.
Hopefully.
Right. So thanks again.